Okay, today only I'll give one question. Next, from next class onwards, I'll start the third unit, right? Okay, write down. Find the eigenvalues. Oh, for complex matrix, for finding eigenvalues and eigenvectors over ma. అవ్వలేదు కదా? Complex matrices కి. Write down this question. Find eigenvalues and eigenvectors of the matrix. Eigenvectors of the matrix. A is equal to I 0 0 0 0 I 0 I 0. Is it clear, ma? Screen is clear, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Once you see the given question, it is in complex matrices, that is I 0 0 0 0 I 0 I 0. This is also 3 by 3 matrix. For that, find first eigenvalues. First find eigenvalues. Given matrix A. For that, the characteristic equation is, if you know the procedure, just continue, no need to wait here. That the characteristic equation is that A minus lambda I is equal to 0. For that, I minus lambda 0 0 0 0 minus lambda I 0 I 0 minus lambda, right? This is equal to 0. For that, take the determinant. If you got directly from the calculus, means directly use calculus, ma. But here it is complex number. Once you try, if you got directly from the complex matrices eigenvalues, means just continue with the calculus. Okay. Now I am using here determinant. For that, I minus lambda into that is minus lambda, that is lambda square. I into I square value minus 1, already here minus, that is lambda square plus 1, and the remaining all are zeros. Okay, for that, I minus lambda and lambda square plus 1 is equal to 0. For that, I'll equating with zeros, that is lambda minus lambda plus I is equal to 0. And lambda square plus 1 is 0. In that, lambda is equal to how much? Tell me. I, first one I. And what about this? Lambda square is equal to what, ma? Plus or minus? This is minus 1. Minus 1, this is. From that, lambda is equal to what? Plus or minus I. Okay, therefore, what are the eigenvalues? Eigenvalues. Lambda is equal to minus I and I. Just copy this. After that, I'll start the eigenvectors. Okay, finished, ma, up to eigenvalues. Huh? Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts up to finding eigenvalues? Same as previous one only, ma. For the real matrix, how we are finding the eigenvalues? Same procedure for this. Okay, మీకు క్యాల్కులస్ నుంచి వస్తుందా కాంప్లెక్స్ నెంబర్ ఉన్నప్పుడు? ట్రై చేయండి, క్యాల్కులస్ ఉంటాయి. Okay, next. Here, how many eigenvalues are there, ma? 3 eigenvalues. For 3 eigenvalues, I have to find 3 eigenvectors, right? Okay, write down. If first case 1, if lambda is equal to minus I, then find eigenvector. Then find eigenvector. Okay. For that, what is the formula for finding eigenvector? Tell me. Tell me, ma. What is the formula for that? A minus lambda I into x is equal to 0. Here, what is lambda? Minus I,
Minus
right?
I.
Minus I. Here I am substituting in place of lambda as minus I, that is plus lambda I. Sorry, here. Plus I into lambda into x is equal to 0. For that, I am substituting directly in this. That is I minus of minus I, that is 2I, right? 0, 0. 0, lambda value minus I, 0 minus lambda means that is I. And here I. 0, I, and this is also I. Into what is x? x1, x2, x3. Okay, 0, 0, 0. Okay, what's the procedure for the next step? Tell me. So I have to reduce the matrix and echelon form, right? Here, what are the row operations for that? Tell me. Row operations cheppandamma. So I have to make third row as completely 0 with respect to R2. Possibility undi kada. Then tell me the row operation. R3 tends to R3 minus
R2.
R2. That is 2I, 0, 0, 0, I, 0 minus 0, 0, I minus I, 0, I minus I, 0. Into x1, x2, x3 is equal to what? 0, 0, 0. For that, 1 minute, ma. Okay, ma. Next continuation. Okay. Is it echelon form for the given matrix? Is it reduced,
Yes, ma'am.
ma? It's echelon form, right? Now, I'll write it as the equations form here. Here, n value is how much? Tell me first. Number of unknowns? 3. And number of non-zero rows, how many, ma?
2.
2, right? Okay. What about n minus r? N minus r is 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. Okay. From the equations, let us take one variable as the arbitrary constant, right? One variable as arbitrary constant. I am telling slowly only. ఇప్పుడు రియల్ మ్యాట్రిసెస్ లో వినని వాళ్ళు అట్లీస్ట్ ఇప్పుడన్నా వినండి. ఆన్లైన్ లో నిద్రపోవద్దు, మంచి బెడ్ మీద కూర్చొని సెల్ పక్కన పెట్టి నిద్రపోకుండా క్లాస్ వినండి. ఓకే. Okay, next. Now I'll write the equations. That the first equation is 2ix1 is equal to 0. From that directly we got x1 that as 0, right? ఫస్ట్ ఈక్వేషన్ నుంచి డైరెక్ట్ గా మనకి x1 వాల్యూ వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ అబౌట్ ద సెకండ్ ఈక్వేషన్? I into x2 plus I into x3 is equal to 0. From that, x2 plus x3 is equal to what? 0. Okay, na? Let us take from here. ఇక్కడ ఏదైనా ఒకటి అన్నోన్ వేరియబుల్, ఐ మీన్ ఏదైనా మనం ఆర్బిటరీ కాన్స్టెంట్ అనుకుంటేనే దెన్ వి గాట్ either x3 or x2, right? Okay, shall I rub the first part, ma? First part అయిందా for finding eigen values?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then let us take, now I am taking x3 as k. Put x3 is equal to k. Substitute in the above equation. From that, what about x2? Tell me. Minus k. Therefore, what are the eigenvalue? If lambda is equal to minus I, for that case, eigenvector x1, x2, x3 is equal to what? x1 as 0, x2 as minus k, and x3 as k. From that, I am taking k common, 0, minus 1, 1 as the eigenvector. Therefore, if lambda is equal to I minus I, for that case, eigenvector 0, minus 1, 1. Okay, note down the first part. After that, I'll continue the second part in case 1 only. Okay. కంప్లీట్ అయితే చెప్పండి మా, ఇక్కడే మాడిఫై చేద్దాం సెకండ్ కేస్. Finished?
Completed, ma'am.
For girl side. Finished? Is 2. What is lambda value, ma? Here either first eigenvalue minus I, for the second eigenvalue as lambda I. If eigenvalue is repeated means for that case, what will happen? Tell me. In that one case only we got 2 independent eigenvectors, right? Okay, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then here a minus I into I is into x is equal to 0. Okay, ఇక్కడ ఎట్లా చేంజ్ అవుతుంది చెప్పండి అన్న. క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్ ఈక్వేషన్ మ్యాట్రిక్స్ ఏం చెప్పండి?
0, 0, 0.
0, 0, 0 na? Right. After substituting lambda as I. 0, 0, 0. Next
0 minus I.
0 minus I.
I.
Next
0 I minus I.
0 I minus
Minus
I.
I.
Tell me the row operation for that here. Again,
R3
here,
plus R3 plus R2.
R3 plus R2.
R2.
Okay. And then I'll change here. that is 0, 0, 0, 0, minus I, 0, I minus I 0, minus I 0 into x1, x2, x3 is equal to 0, 0, 0. Is there any possibility to make the second row as 0? No. Okay, na? Therefore, here number of non-zero rows, how many, ma?
1.
Is it echelon form? Is it echelon form? మీకు
Yes,
డౌట్
yes.
రావచ్చు ఫస్ట్ రో అంతా కంప్లీట్ గా జీరో ఉంది కదా మ్యామ్ ఎట్లా అవుతుంది అని అట్లాంటి కేసెస్ లో ఏం చేస్తాం జస్ట్ ఇంటర్చేంజ్ R1 to R2 అవసరం లేదు ఇన్ కేస్ డౌట్ వస్తే జస్ట్ ఇంటర్చేంజ్ చేయండి లేదంటే డైరెక్ట్ గా రాసేయండి ఏం ప్రాబ్లం లేదు 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 and x1, x2, x3 is equal to 0, 0, 0. Okay. Next, here number of non-zero rows, how many? How many, ma? 1, na?
1, ma'am.
1, right. That means R is equal to 1. R is equal to 2. Number of non-zero rows are 2. That is
non-zero
3.
was 1, ma'am.
I'm sorry, 1, 1. 1. Therefore, 3 minus 1 is equal to, assume 2 are arbitrary constants. Okay. Okay, now write down the equation from only from this matrix we got only one equation, that is minus I x2 minus I x2 plus x3 is equal to 0. I into x3. From that, wait ma. Okay, from that, let us take any two variables as the arbitrary constants. ఇక్కడ ఏదేది అనుకున్నాం చెప్పండి here from that
x3
x2
equals to
from
k.
this equation x2 is equal to x3, right? And ఇక్కడ నేను ఏదేది అనుకున్నాం if we are, let us take x3 as k, then from that, from the above equation, x2 is also k, right? And from ఇంకా రిమైనింగ్ ఏముంది మనకి x1, right? x1 k1 అనుకోండి, x1 as k. Here x1, let us take x1 as k1. Therefore, here the eigenvector x1, x2, x3 is equal to what? K1, k and k. x2k and x3 is k, right? From that, now I'll write it as this 1 into k1 plus 0 into k. Is there any changes, ma? If you are adding 0 into k means there is no changes in k1, right? And after that, here I'll take 0 into k1 plus 1 into k. Okay, next. Third one also 0 into k1 plus 1 into k. From that, I'll write separately k1 terms and k terms. Plus 0 into k plus 1 into k plus 1 into k. From that, here I am taking k1 outside, 1, 0, 0 plus taking common k, 0, 1, 1. From that, what is k1? Tell me. I mean, what is two vectors here? One is 1, 0, 0 and the other one is 0, 1, 1, right? Okay, I'll write here. Shall I rub the first case 2, ma? First 2 steps. అబ్జెక్చా
Yes, ma'am.
then therefore here I am writing both the vectors. If lambda is equal to I, for that case eigenvectors 1 0 0 and 0 1 1 0 1 1. And if lambda is equal to minus I, for that case what is the eigenvector? Ma, tell me. 0 minus 1 1. Okay, these are the three vectors for three corresponding eigen values. Note down. Complete అయిందా?
Yes, ma'am.
కాపీ చేయండి.
Ma'am, please explain this step now.
Any doubts? Who is asking, ma?
Ma'am, this last step
For this?
from x1 is equals to k1 from there you explain.
For this last, this one?
No, ma'am, from x1 is equals to k1.
X1 is equal, here how many are arbitrary constants from the formula? 2 are arbitrary constants, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm taking one is x2 as x3 as k and x1 as k1.
Yes.
Okay na? నేను x3 ని k అనుకొని ఈక్వేషన్ లో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తే x2 as k వచ్చింది. నేను x2 ని k అనుకోలేదు మా. ఇక్కడ ఓన్లీ I'm assuming x3 and x1. If you are assuming x3 as k, from the equation we got x2 as k and whatever the remaining one, x1 as k1. Okay.
Ma'am, after this multiplication, how you did, ma'am? This 1 into k1.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Classes in లేదా? If the eigen values are repeated, for that case we got two eigen vectors. Okay, మరి eigen vectors ఎట్లా వస్తాయి? ఇక్కడ k1 ఉంది, k ఉంది, k ఉంది. అంటే మనం ఒక లీనియర్ ఈక్వేషన్ ఫార్మ్ లో రాయాలి. అది ఏంటో రాస్తున్నాం? k1 ని 1 into k1. Here what is the missing term? K is missing for the first variable. For that I am adding 0 into k. Okay na? For that second variable here k. ఇక్కడ ఏముంది? నా పెన్ ఎక్కడైతే బ్లింక్ అవుతుందో అక్కడ చెక్ చేయనా? ఇక్కడ k ఉంది. ఇక్కడ k ఉందంటే ఇక్కడ మిస్సింగ్ టర్మ్ ఏంటి? k1. నేనేం చేస్తున్నా? దాన్ని 0 into k1 ప్లస్ ఈ k ని 1 into k అని యాడ్ చేస్తున్నా. ఓకేనా? And similarly for the third variable here only k. Which one is missing? K1 is missing. For that missing term I am using 0 into k1 plus I am writing k as 1 into k. ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? This is as one linear equation form. For that I am separating k1 term separately and k terms separately. ఇప్పుడు k1 terms అన్నిటిని ఒక దగ్గర రాసుకున్నా. After that k terms. From that we got two eigenvectors, that is 1 0 0 0 1 1. Okay na?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, finished.
Yes, ma'am.
All are
Yes, ma'am.
copied. Shall I give one more question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, second unit completely over, ma. I'll give one question for the practice. Just solve it and mere ippudu. From tomorrow onwards, I'll start the third unit. Okay. ఇదొక్క క్వశ్చన్ ట్రై చేయండి. Second question. Find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of the matrix. Note down. Find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of the matrix. A is equal to 4, 1 minus 3i, 1 plus 3i, and 7. It is 2 by 2 matrix. Very simple. Just try to solve. Tell me the eigenvalues for this. 4, 1 minus 3i, 1 plus 3i, and 7. The characteristic equation is that A minus lambda I is equal to 0. For that, 4 minus lambda, 1 minus 3i, 1 plus 3i, and 7 minus
36, ma'am.
lambda. Huh?
36.
What 36?
Determinant.
Determinant 36. More for that, you got 2 eigenvalues. It is 2 by 2 matrix, right?
Just a minute, ma'am.
మనం ఐగన్ వాల్యూస్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలి దీనికి. డైరెక్ట్ గా డిటర్మినెంట్ ఎట్లా వస్తుంది? ఇక్కడ లాంబ్డా ఉంది కదా.
తప్పు చేస్తారు.
ఈక్వేషన్ వస్తుంది.
Lambda square minus 11 lambda plus 38 equals to 0.
Lambda square minus 11 lambda
Plus 38 equals to 0.
minus
Plus 38 equals to 0.
38. చెక్ చేయండి అమ్మా. 38 వస్తుందా? Malaki got the same equation once you check, Nana.
Plus 38, ma'am.
Plus 38. Okay, for that, tell me the eigenvalues. Eigenvalues are? What are the eigenvalues for this? Maybe 2 and 9 are the eigenvalues. Directly from the calculus, we got this ma. Lambda is 2, 9. Is it correct or wrong? Once you check it. Lambda is equal to 2, 9.
కాంప్లెక్స్ నెంబర్ వస్తుంది.
కాంప్లెక్స్ నెంబర్ వస్తుంది. ఎక్కడ కాంప్లెక్స్ నెంబర్ వస్తుంది? ఇక్కడ 1 minus
ఈక్వేషన్ లో 18 మ్యామ్ 38 కాదు.
ఎంత?
ఈక్వేషన్ లో 18.
18. రైట్.
18.
అదే కరెక్ట్ అమ్మా. 18 కరెక్ట్. ప్లస్ 18 రైట్. ప్లస్ 18 అయితే we got these 2 eigenvalues.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. correct. Lambda square minus 11 lambda plus 18 is equal to 0. For that, the eigenvalues are 2, 9. Okay. Now continue the next one, case 1. If lambda is equal to 2, for that case, eigenvector. Solve చేసి చెప్పండి. Lambda is equal to 2, for that case, eigenvector. A minus lambda I into x is equal to 0. Okay, now that is, I'll write directly, that is 4 minus 2, 1 minus 3i, 1 plus 3i, and 7 minus 2 into x is equal to 0. That is 2, 1 minus 3i, 1 plus 3i, 7 minus 2, 5. Okay, into x as x1, x2, x3 is equal to 0. For this, tell me the row operation. మరో ఆపరేషన్ చేయగలరా ఇక్కడ? Tell me anyone. R2 changes to
2 into R2 minus R1.
2 into
R2 minus R1.
మొత్తం 0 అవుతుందా?
కాంప్లెక్స్ లో వస్తుంది
2 into
ఓన్లీ 3i
R2
మిగులుతుంది.
minus
R1.
R1. Okay, చూద్దాం. 2, 1 minus 3i. ఇక్కడ 2 minus 2, 0 అయిపోతుంది. And 6i వస్తుందా? 6i and 2 5s are 10. Right? Sorry, there are 2 variables కదా, x1 and x2. x1, x2 is equal to 0. For this, tell me. Okay, directly write down the equations, Nana. 2x1, 1 minus 3i into x. Inka possibility unda? Inka possibility unte, we'll make as 0.
3i.
Cheppandi, try cheddam. I also don't know this answer. I also try here. Okay, tell me.
R3 minus 3. R2
R3,
minus
right.
R2.
Wait.
3i. Multiply by 3i.
Again, R2 changes to R2 minus 3 R1.
3i R1.
3i R1. Right. Up to 3 into 6. Okay, so 2, 1 minus 3i, R2, 6i minus 6i. This is 0, right? And next 10 minus 3i.
There is not 10, it's 9 plus 3i.
Here 10, no? Here. 10.
No, ma'am.
For the second element, second row, second element, 10, no? 10 minus 3i into 1 minus 3i. Kada? For that, 10 minus 3i, 3 3s are 9, plus 9i square వస్తుంది ఇక్కడ. That is 10 minus 3i.
9 plus 3i, ma'am.
1 minus 3i కదా.
10 minus 1 minus 3i, ma'am.
9 plus 3i, ma'am.
9.
9 plus 3i.
ఇక్కడ డైరెక్ట్ గా సెకండ్ రో సెకండ్ ఎలిమెంట్ 9 plus 3i.
దాని పైన మ్యామ్, దాని పైన 10 ఉంది కదా మ్యామ్, 10 కాదు 9 plus 3i, మ్యామ్.
మిస్టేక్ రాసామా? కరెక్ట్. Tell me. 9 minus 3i. ఇక్కడ ఏమొస్తుందిరా? 9 minus ఒక్క నిమిషం ఇక్కడ 2R2 అంటే 10
Madam.
minus 1 plus right 9
9 plus 3i,
plus
madam.
3i 9 plus 3i
Yes, ma'am.
9 plus 3i. Okay, for that ఇప్పుడు అది యూజ్ చేసి ఇక్కడ సెకండ్ ఎలిమెంట్ చెక్ చేయండి. చెప్పండి ఇప్పుడు
0 మ్యామ్.
జీరోనా డైరెక్ట్లీ.
Hmm.
ఓకే, this as 0. Okay, into x1 x2 is equal to 0. From that, here number of unknowns are 2 and number of non-zeros are 1. For that, n minus r is equal to how much? 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Let us take one variable as arbitrary constant. Okay, from that, now write down the equations from the given matrix. That is 2x1 plus 1 minus 3i into x2 is equal to 0, right? For that, let us take one variable. Which one is arbitrary constant ma? Let us take x2 as k. Okay na? x2 k తీసుకోండి. x2 as k, substitute in the above equation, that is 2x1 plus 1 minus 3i into k is equal to 0. For that, 2x1 is equal to minus of 1 minus 3i into k. Therefore, x1 is what? x1 is minus of, or else I'll write 3i plus 1 divided by 2 into k. Okay, this is the x1 value and x2 as k. Therefore, from that eigenvector x1 and x2 is equal to what? 3i plus 1 by 2 into k and x2 as k. Okay, that is one eigenvector. Let us take k outside and the remaining 3i plus 1 by 2 1. ఇక్కడ fractions లో ఉండొద్దు అంటే then take 2 also common. Here I am taking 2 common. 1 by 2 common, 1 by 2 into k, that is 3i plus 1 and 2 here. Okay, therefore the eigenvector, if lambda is equal to 2, for that case eigenvector is 3i plus 1 and 2. Okay, continue the next one ma. If lambda is equal to 9 also same method, same procedure continue చేయండి. Fast గా కాపీ చేయండి. I'll end the session. Is it clear? Any doubts?
Ma'am, here x1 is 3i minus 1, no?
3i? Okay,
Yes,
here
ma'am.
minus. Okay, here minus, right? ఏదైనా మిస్టేక్ ఉంటే ముందే చెప్పాలరా, మొత్తం స్టెప్స్ అన్నీ అయిపోయినాక. Three I minus 1, 3i minus 1, 3i minus 1. Right. Okay, ra?
Yes, ma'am.
Note down one. Last step, write down. Therefore, if lambda is 2, for that case eigenvector is 3i minus 1 and 2. Okay, make it fast. Amma finished?